اسكتوا 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 خذوا هل فاهمون هذا؟ هل هذا يكفيكم؟ لا نحتاج إلى زيادة. We don't need more than this for A1. مفهوم؟ We don't need more than this for A1. هل فاهمون أم لا؟ فاهمين. أيوة فنسمى هذا رأس. قولوا رأس. رأس. ويجوز لكم أن تقول راس. راس or رأس. And this is where the Rastafarians get their name from. Because the name of Haile Selassie was Tafari. All right, when he turned 16, his father made him a Ras for the eastern region, okay? And that was, made him a governor. And so they called him Ras Tafari. And when the Westerners got hold of it, they chewed it up and spit out Rasta. Rastafari, you know. But it's from Ras, because the Ethiopian language is a Semitic language just like Arabic. So they say Ras, and we say Ras. When you look at their books, when it talks about the history of the Najasi, they call it Najash al-Kubra, right? Kubra is the word they use to show the great kings. Where's the Kubra from? Akbar wa Kabara, right? Aywa, alhamdulillah. So Ras, Kulu?
Ras.
Aywa.
Ras.
Come over here. Stand up over here. Here's our example. When we point to it, you do it for yourself, okay? And don't block the board over here. All right. So Ras, show us your Ras. Okay. Here we're gonna call them Ain. Say it, Ain.
Ain.
So in Arabic it's like this. In Ain it's like this. Ain.
Ain.
Okay. Ears is gonna be Udhun.
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 You know we know that word from the word Adhan, right? See the connection? Udhun. Anf. Anf. Not with a ain, with a hamza. Anf. Anf. Point to it. So we have ras. No. Ain. Udhun. Anf. Fem. Then we have the whole thing. We call it waj. Waj. Now this is an important word. You have to make like a pause on it. Waj. Right, the hat, waj. Right, so what you really do is just let the air out. Say waj. Right, let the air out. Normally you don't let the air out. Boy, oh boy. Okay? No, waj. And then hair. Sha'a. Now the word is sha'a, but when you pronounce it, it's going to sound like sha'a. Say it. Sha'a. And it's said a little fast. The actual word is sha'arun. But it's going to sound like sha'a. Okay? And then the beard is lihya. And it's not the lihya, it's lihya. The ha of the throat. Ha, lihya. Okay, come over here. Now chest, sadr. Say it. Sadr. Now actually the word chest in Arabic includes everything from the belly upwards. Okay? I remember years ago when we used to see the people from the Hanafi madhab praying like this, we used to think, what's wrong with those guys? Those guys are crazy. Don't they know? Because we're reading, I'm translating at that time, this is in the 90s, and I'm thinking, well, Sadr is the chest. It says chest. Why do they have their hairs down here? And then years later, when I went to Mauritania and I studied, and I didn't get to Hadith yet, you know, and then I got to Egypt and I finally got to study Hadith, and we're studying Hadith, and the Shaykh, we get through Tirmidhi, and the Shaykh says, he's reading the commentary, he says, and we're talking about the issues of where to place their hands in the salah. And he says, all the fuqaha, and you always start with Tirmidhi, because Tirmidhi teaches you what all the different scholars of fiqh say. All the fuqaha have agreed that placing your hands on your belly button or above is all completed in the word sadr. And I said, here it is. This big dummy. So aggressive, so animosity, and these guys are right. Okay? And it's a threshold moment for me, because here it is, I was so aggressively accusing these guys for being, what's wrong with you? Don't you know sunnah? Can you spell it? Being arrogant and ugly with it, and they were just ignoring you, whatever, cat.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, hey, they're not, and then you find out that they're not wrong. You get my point? They're not wrong. Especially when you hear a statement that this is the unanimous agreement of all the fuqaha. So what does that tell you? That tells you the fuqaha in Iraq, the fuqaha in Mecca and Medina, in Basra and Kufa. These are different areas where the scholars had agreed. However, when we say sadr, for the most part, we mean here. Okay, so there's the referred to meaning and the acceptable meaning. Follow me, guys?
No.
All right. So when we say belly, say belly.
Belly.
I'm sorry, back. Back is dhahab. Dhahab. Turn around, you can't see it. Okay, this is all this dhahab. Okay? Like the word dhuhr, right? Same word. And it's, in the same salah and at dhuhr time, because the sun is clear in the sky, right? It's called your dhahab because it's clear. So ladies, up, it's clear. You can't hide it. What can you do to hide your back? Nothing. You get my point? It's right there. So even your shirt is still your back. So it's dhahar. It's one of the most apparent parts of the individual. Dhahar. Belly is button. Button. Say button. The way you sound it is in Arabic, it's like this. Button. Okay? This is where the English word button comes from. That's why the two T's are there. To pronounce it right. Button. You get my point? Okay, so again, and we point these things out so that we can, have more dignity for Islam and know that we are not taking from the kuffar, but we're taking back from the kuffar. Does that make sense?
هل تكتب في اللغة
لا أنا سأكتبه.
العربي
No.
كلمة؟
I have room over here, so I was doing it, but that's not my objective. But you can figure it out. When I do a capital letter like that, that means it's the other one, the stronger of the two. Okay? And then you listen to my pronunciation. Okay? Button. It's not batten. Right? Batten. That doesn't change the back. A letter that has isti'la, which means the back of the tongue. See those letters like ta, the, ayn, ta, the, ayn, sad, dad. They're different. We call them isti'la. The back of the tongue rises up. Okay? That's what makes them different from the other letters. You get my point? All right. Arms, dhira'a. Dhira'a. If I had more room, I would write it for you. Sadr. Dhahr. Dhira'a. Dhira'a. These are your dhira'a, okay? Okay? You guys follow me? Hands, yet. Now, it's interesting because the plural of yad is aid. What is it called? Aid. What do you think the English word came from? Aid. Well, what does it mean when you want aid? What do you want? Hand. More hands on the situation, right? So that's where the word, again, we're taking back from what was there. Does that make sense? Yad wahid, yadan, bal yadahu mabsutatani. Right? Two hands, and the plural is aid. Okay? And also, no? Okay. Oh, jazakumullah khair, barakallahu fikum. Alhamdulillah. So we have aid, just so you can understand, again, where the English-speaking world gets these terms from. They got it from us. Does that make sense? Yes. Take it back. And don't feel ashamed you're taking your own stuff back. There's a rule in Islam that says the stolen item goes back to the owner. Okay? Stolen item. This is the same reason when I say that you don't become, let's say, a Williams because you were enslaved by the Williams. That's a stolen child. He goes back to his owner, his family. Does that make sense? Hey. So, front private part. The front private part is called the qubul. Say that? Qubul. And the back part is called the dubur. The qubul and the dubur. This is the most polite way of calling it. Okay? Qubul from the word min qabalik, what's in front of you. Okay? And dubur, what is adbarakum, what's behind you. And this is the polite way to mention the private parts. The qubul and dubur. If you have to mention it, it's the qubul and dubur. Fahimun? Ayywa, alhamdulillah. Legs. Rigid. Say it.
Rigid.
What does that sound like?
Rigid?
No, not rigid.
Rajul.
And how do you say rajul in the plural?
Rijal.
Rijal. Okay, what does that have to do with anything? How come the word man is the same word for legs? Anybody got a reason?
Stand on.
What's we? What are you talking about?
The human being stands on his two legs.
Okay, it's men, so the human being stands on humans? Stands on legs? The human being stands on men?
Two legs.
Okay, no, well, that's
He
close.
walks, he moves.
That's not getting it. I mean, it's close, but there's no cigar here, as they say. Somebody else want to help him? Okay, it's like this. He's since he was the closest, he gets it. Look, the body is then representative of the community. And the community is established and stands on its rijal, the men. Does that? And if there are no men, it's like having no legs. What happens to the body? It's called crippled. Do you get my point? So then the body without the legs is crippled. The society without men is crippled. The community. Fahimun? Hey, well, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. And so then they can't walk. They can't go nowhere. Does that make sense? Now they can't go nowhere. Ain't that where we at? I mean, El Hajj Malik Shabazz, rahimahullah, was martyred a long time ago, and we ain't moved 5 minutes away from where he was at in the mentality of where we should be going. No, seriously. So, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So this is the combination, the connection between rijal and rijal. The community stands on that, and we should too. And the feet is no, I'm not talking to you. Qadam. Qadam, everybody say qadam. Now what, point to it, brother, you're supposed to. Qadam. Qadam. Now what does this word have to do with qadam, have to do with feet? Again, there's some music in this. What does qadam have to do with feet? Come on, you guys that speak Arabic. No, it's not kha, it's a ta. Qadam. From the word muqaddima. Right? Ana ati fi usbul qadim. Qadim, muqaddima, taqdim. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's there, right? It's right there. What do you guys think? Come on, what does qadam have to do? Oh, some people here knows right. What does it have to do with your foot? Huh? Excuse me, say again. I think she has it right there.
The first thing that goes forward.
Okay, the word qadam in the language means the introduction, doesn't it? In a book, we call it introduction to the book, we call it the muqaddimah, right? The person who comes out before the MC comes out, he's the mutaqaddim. He comes out and says, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take the hickles, and then the MC comes out. You get my point? It's called the qaddam because it's the first thing that goes forward. So who you qaddim? You get my point? So it is the first thing that goes forward. Ain't there some sweet poetry to the meanings of these words? Excellent. You know? And so it has meaning. It has real good meaning. I expect you to know these things, okay?
No.
I expect you to know them now. Okay. This is, not yes week, not now. Because we are at a very threshold moment right here. Fahimeen? Now,
So qadam is not close to qadr.
no, khadr is from a kha. That would be a KH sound. Kha. Okay? That's different. It's kha. Qadam. Qadam. Inni uqaddimu laki hadhihi al-qalam. See, uqaddimu, I present to you. You get my point? Uqaddimu, present, put forward.
So foot would be
Qadam.
and feet would be
Aqdam.
Damn.
Okay?
Aqdam.
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 The plural of feet is aqdam.
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 Qadam is 1 foot.
so that
Qadam is 1 foot. And qadamani is 2 feet. And aqdam is 3 feet. Remember, everything that's 2 is an. Right? Qadaman. Rijlan. Right? You get my point? Yadan. Dira'an. An is what? Wahid. Ithnan. You get my point? When you get to Mia, what do you say? Mia? Miyatan. You follow me? Nah,
Qadr or Qadr?
it doesn't make a difference. The word qadr and qadam have nothing to do with qadam.
I know, but the spelling.
Well, she said it as a kha. See, we're people of sound. What do we always say? Ours is an oral tradition, right? We go on what we hear first, what we heard someone says. She said kha, so I dealt with the kha sound. Even if she said a qaf, it's still not qadam. Because mim and ra are two different, even though in language, m and ra are always mixed together. Like I lived in Japan for about a year, right? And they mixed those two up. You know, they won't pronounce the M or the R. They'll mix them up between the two. You get my point? And the L too.
Yeah, we do that. Big time.
That's how.
I know, that's why I said, maybe she was talking about Qadr. Like,
What you saying about
part of the belief.
the Qadr Allah? Okay, well see, I thought you said Qadr, like the Prophet Qadr. No, Qadr Allah is a different word than Qadr.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
but is it the same color?
No, oh, the same qaf.
Same letter.
Yes, it's the same qaf.
Okay,
It's the Q in English.
that was my question.
Yeah, it's the same Q. Qaf. Qaf. Everybody said qaf. It should pop. Qaf. Al-haqq. Right, that's how it goes. With kha, say kha. That's in the throat area, okay?
Yeah.
Kha. With qa, it's in the mouth.
Ka,
It's just the back of the mouth.
ka,
Okay, you get my point?
ka, ka.
Qa. Right.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
no.
All right. Does anybody have any questions about this?
Could you repeat them again with us?
Yes, I will, and he will demonstrate.
Simon said.
Because that makes it more memorable.
No, sorry.
Okay? Don't look at the board, man.
You don't have no poem for this one?
I did start a poem about the whole vocabulary that I wanted to teach people, but it was so long, and I figured that it wasn't beneficial. Because the amount of effort it takes you to memorize the poem, it'd have been easier to learn the words in practical application. So I had done it, because there is a poem in Arabic, okay, on the vocabulary of the major vocabulary. 2 things are wrong with the poem why I didn't want to teach it to you. It's not as practical. You learn types of goats, types of camels, types of different things that are not, practical in the life today. So when you come, if you want to study the Ultimate Arabic course that I have, then you would get to that poem. Okay, and there's actually 2 poems for that. But for what we're doing now, conversational Arabic, not at all. It's not at all. It's just a waste of time for this level Arabic. This level Arabic is to get you to the point that when you come into class, you have the foundation of everything you need. Does that make sense? Okay, and that's what this is. Let's go again. Ras.
Ras.
Okay. Ain.
Ain.
Udhun.
Udhun.
Anf.
Anf.
Fem.
Fem.
Wajh.
Wajh.
Sha'r.
Sha'r.
That'd be on your head like this stuff right here.
Sha'r.
Sha'r. Anywhere sha'r. This is even sha'r. Okay?
Sha'r.
Sha'r. Sha'r.
Sha'r.
But now, more specifically, lihya.
Yeah.
Okay, lihya. Lihya is only what's on the jaw. Okay, that's why you find some people shaving everything except for that because of the definition of lihya. You get my point?
Again?
Sorry?
Will you say what you said again?
I said that's why you find some people shaving everything around the jaw because of the literal definition of lihya. But that is incorrect. Okay? Because more than that, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Afu anhu," that don't touch it. Does that make sense? So people try to, amongst the fuqaha, and they say, well, what is actually lihya is this area, right? And then they go and they stretch it as much as they can Now there's argument here, because remember, most of the time we've been getting information out of mainly Saudi Arabia, okay? And they have been greatly influenced by the British. Does that make sense? And the British, as you can see now, we have all the pictures and the movies of them in Congress and in sitting down with the Saudi, working it out with them to remove words out of the books and stuff like that. You know, this is just because we can see it now. It's been happening for a long time, these type of things. So they have, because I remember back 20 years ago, at least 20 years ago, when the jilbab, what is this called? The kameez that has the Western collar on it. When they tried to make those, and the ulama was saying no. You remember that? They were saying those ones were haram. Okay? And that's because initially those collared shirts were a sign of mason. If you wore the pointy collar, that was a sign that you were a mason. Does that make sense? And then the British started to say, well, let's put them on, one company said, let's put them on all our shirts because everybody wants to look like an up-and-coming mason. Does that make sense? And so then when the Muslims one company started to put them out, they were seized because Saudi used to have Sunnah police. Remember, they used to close people's stores and stuff. They found them in the market and they snatched them up. It went to the court. And then they said, even though the meaning, and this is when I said, hold on, how did they do that? Even though they agreed that it's a sign of Masonia and that makes it a bid'ah, right? Because you're imitating a people that is a sign that represents their deen. You get my point? Some of the argument was, well, it's not a legitimate deen. So what? It's not a legitimate deen. It's still a sign of their ibadah, or what they would call it ibadah. They said, it doesn't really mean that people don't know it anymore. And so they allowed it. So slowly but surely there's been an allowance of this and there's allowance of that, and it's been going. So what I noticed in some of those rulings where they say, okay, well, you could shave this and now keep anything that makes, if you look at the man, it says he has a beard, even if it's a 2-day-old shave, then they say that's a beard. But that has come mainly out of the Khalij, okay, the Gulf, which has been greatly influenced by who? You get my point? So when you have a clear narration from the Prophet ﷺ, don't care what anybody else says. Because there are certain narrations that are true, they're not ambiguous at all. They do not leave any question about it. Does that make sense? And one of the ways of the shayateen is not to make a direct change, an abrupt change. It's a subtle change. And then slowly, as we learned from Noah, he won't put the idol out there, he'll just say, look a picture first. And then when these cats die who are objecting, then a statue. And then after that, it's the worship of it. You get my point? So now it's, we can shave this next, and now it's going to be nothing. Oh, that was dead. Does that make sense? I don't wear them either. I look at it like this. Even Iran won't wear it. You ever seen the Iranian dignitaries? They never wear it. They won't even wear it. They get, this is the most they'll wear. They call this a Raynu collar. You know what I'm saying? They'll wear this or they'll wear nothing. And I noticed that in Africa, we don't wear it either. Ever. We have the open collar or this collar right here at the most. And they don't like when it gets too big either. Right. If it gets too big, it's too close. So we stay in our lane. Yes, ma'am. Sha'ab.
The hair.
No, I don't know that word.
Sha'ab.
Okay.
The length.
The length. For whom?
It's for men.
For men.
The hadith, it says, another translation is...
No, ask the question. Don't tell me what you know.
So, there's the man's head.
What's the
hair
question?
shave. Can it be different lengths? If one part is...
The ruling on man having hair on his head is this. Men, the Prophet ﷺ never cut his hair except for 2 reasons. That's the sunnah. If he had a hair disease, somebody was sick, like they needed, hijama, okay? Or they had lice, and he never commanded anybody to shave their head, and don't, except for 2 reasons. Men, lice, some other, and Allah mentions it in the Quran. Come on, baby, give me a baby. No, what is it? Okay, so the hair comes in the Quran for men in the Quran one place. And it says that they have an excuse to cut their hair when there is an adha fi ra'sihi. Okay? There's something that disturbs his head, lice, ringworm, or something like that, then he can shave it. Okay? Otherwise that. Now some people try to restrict that to Hajj. No, the ayah is laid out in the language. That's the only mention of it. So that's because what's supposed to happen at Hajj? You're supposed to be on your fitrah, right? And what's supposed to happen at Hajj? You're supposed to shave your hair, right? So if you shave your head before Hajj, what have you done when you got to Hajj? What have you saved for Allah? It's not a big deal that you shave your head then, is it? And is shaving your head an act of ibadah? The ulama fuqaha talk about this. Well, yeah, it's an act. What happens when you join the military? Shave your head. What happens when you become a Buddhist? Shave your head. What happens when you become a Sufi? Shave your head. You get my point? In all these things, you have to shave your head with those individuals. What happens, and in America, for the United States, I should say, what happened to black men? Could they keep their hair long? No. And even in the South, there's still laws that say if the person gets locked up, what happens? They have to shave their head. They can't keep it more than an inch. Okay? So, and what was the stance of the Sahaba with regards to shaved heads? They used to shave the head of everybody they captured. Ihanatan lahu, to humiliate him. Even if he paid the ransom, they would shave the head. Does that make sense? So, the ruling on a man shaving his head for no reason is that it is makruh. The only reason it's not haram because it has an explicit rule saying do not do it. Does that make sense? But it does go against the sunnah. Why? Because we have a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man yu'min billahi, your man kana lahu sha'ru falyukrimhu." Whoever has hair, let him honor it. Yukrimhu. And what is honoring it? Greasing it and oiling it and combing it, right? And then when he goes to Hajj, because what is the cutting the hair representative of? Sacrificing your son for Allah, right? Sacrificing an animal for Allah. And so if you took care of it every day and you combed it and you greased it and you kept it going, and then finally after years and years you went to Hajj and you cut it off for every hair you got a barakah. What did the Prophet also say about the man with his hair? He said for every hair that touches the ground when he's in sajda, he gets a barakah, right? What is the longest hadith in Riyadh al-Salihin about the three men, right? And the angels that came to him. One man had cows, one man had camels, one man had goats, right? And one man was blind, and one man had leprosy, and one man was bald. And he asked him, what do you want? I want this thing that people detest to be off me. And he rubbed his hair, and he had a great drop down of hair that hit his shoulders. What was in the Shama'il Muhammadiyah, in the description of the Prophet? How did he keep his hair? At the least of it was at Shahmatul Udhun, meaning it was at his fat of his ear. What is this thing called? The earlobe. Okay? At the long of it, it was at the shoulder. And when we look at the general understanding of the Sahaba, there's only 3 Sahaba that ever cut their hair outside of that. Okay? One of them was Abdullah ibn Umar. Okay? The other one was Ali ibn Abi Talib. But he changed after the Prophet died. He started growing it long again because the Shia started to follow him. Okay, what do we see in the Hadith book where it starts about, it says, Simahum tahliq. The Prophet ﷺ, he said in a famous hadith, he said that there's going to come a time where the people come into the deen and leave out like an arrow. Right? They're going to come into the deen like an arrow and leave out like an arrow. He said, how will we recognize them, Ya Rasulullah? He said, Simahum tahliq. They'll have the habit of shaving their heads. This is their practice. They'll keep shaving their head. You get my point? So we look at that. We have another narration of Umar ibn Khattab where there was a man who was asking about the qadr of Allah, asking a whole bunch of questions about the qadr of Allah, which is a scary subject, meaning like they don't know too much about it and they didn't like to answer questions about it. You get it? So Umar had him arrested and brought to him. When he came to him, the man had a turban on. He snatched the man's turban off and the man's hair fell down and hit his shoulder. Umar jumped back. He said, if I'd have found you tahliq al-raqs, if I'd have found you with a shaved head, I'd have chopped that thing off that carries your eyes. But because he had hair on his head, they recognized that this was a man of the sunnah and he let him go. You get my point? So having the stance of the hair on the Muslim's hair is a serious issue. Okay? And we have become domesticated. Because when you look at it on the other end, what did the colonizers do in every place they went? What did they do to the Native Americans? Quote unquote Native Americans, a double standard, right? They chopped their hair off, right? For the boys. What did they do when they went to China? They chopped off their queue. What did they do when they went to Japan? They made it illegal and they chopped their queue off in the street. They called it their hair, right? They kept effeminating or domesticating the men, taking their hair out. But what do you see the Viking with long hair with braids, right? So we have to look at this thing that we do here. And when you look here in America, in the Western country right here, African men in general are it's like makruh in the law for a black man to have an afro, ain't it?
Yes.
It's like, oh. And what do we see all these guys on TV? All bunch of bald heads, right?
Well, they're the Khaza'ah.
Oh, yeah, but most of them are like now bald heads. Since Michael Jordan, back in the days, he started it and then everybody else has to be bald headed. And if you see what now, if they have it after, it's all unshoveled and looking like, crap. Pardon me for saying it that way, right? It's untaken care of. But what happened in the 70s? People had beautiful hair, right? In the early 80s. It was nice. It was well kept. So, you ask me, and I did a dissertation about this back in Egypt, back way long time ago. It's called The Hair on a Muslim's Head and the rulings that surround that issue, like that. Everything from the Sunnah points to, and Ali, who cut his hair, he did it because one of the things says that he would have what we would call early ejaculation, that they mentioned that, and he was married to the Prophet's daughter, and he heard the Prophet said that if you have to take a ghusl, and he was afraid that he would not get all his hair wet, so he shaved it off. But the Khawarij saw him, and they started to shave their heads off. So Ali stopped, and he grew his hair long. And there's a book called The Fiqh of Ali. He started to grow his hair long when he came to the position of leadership, so that people wouldn't try to follow him and say, because they worshiped Ali. They tried to say he was the right one and all. They still do, right? And then Abdullah ibn Umar, he used to get not only his head shaved, he used to shave his hair on his chest, on his back, and on his legs. And he would go sit in the barber shop and say, "You shave chest? You shave my back?" And the guy would do it. Then people would come and gather and look at him. Yeah, you're Abdullah ibn Umar. And he says, "Ya ayyuhan nas, innahu laysa bis-sunnah." What I'm doing is not the sunnah. However, وَلَكِنَّ شَعْرَ ibn Umar يُؤْذِيهِ. He said, but the hair of Ibn Umar bothers him. So it said that he had thick hair and he would get, the keloids when the hair goes in and stuff like that. And so he used to do that. So he had a reason, shar'i reason for that. And so do those people who have that issue. But also others say, no, you just grease it till it gets long enough. And then you won't have that issue. Wallahu a'lam. So as far as now, the only one that were given an excuse to cut here was boys. Okay? Why? Because they get so dirty and nasty, their mothers have a hard time keeping up and keeping them clean. So what happened when Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, the one that looked the most like the Prophet, radiyallahu anhu, the man who fought over 10,000 people, okay, and was martyred. When he was martyred, his wife was crying so much, right? She couldn't take care of the children, so they came out looking like katakit. Katakit that come out of the, what do you call it? The birds that come out of the shell? Chicks with their hair all matted and looking like that. And the Prophet came to visit and said, after this day, you don't cry for your husband no more. Now, he didn't even give her 4 months and 10 days. He said, after this day, there's a fatwa of the Prophet. You don't cry for your husband no more after this day. Okay? So it was like a week. And he said, he pulled the children, he said, shave these children's head. Because she can't keep up with them. And then they called for a halak and they shaved their heads. Okay? So, and then the situation of the man who had wingworm in his hand, he said, shave it all off or shave it all off, keep it all on. Because the person had wingworm, so they just shaved the side of it to deal with the wingworm. You get wingworm, and if you shave it off, then it gets air, and they put tea tree or whatever they put in it. People have different things they put in it. But he said, nah, you could kill that ringworm without shaving all the hair off. But if you're going to shave some of the hair off, shave it all off. Why? Because then, man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum. Whoever looks like a different people, a particular people, he's one of them. He's considered amongst them. So you're going around with what you call it, the high and tight, they call it, right? Yeah. Fade. You're looking like got a fade, or what they call it, a Caesar. The other thing. Well, I want a Muhammad as opposed to a Caesar. Caesar used to wear his hair short, and in order to become a Roman citizen, you shaved your head short. Why? So you could wear a wig, because there was cross-dressers. Same thing they're trying to do now. They have this bisexual mentality. Where ain't they going that way now? You go in the bathroom, any bathroom you choose and all that. So they used to, you know how they was getting down.
Yes.
So to have their hair off so they could put their little wigs on and run around at nighttime was part of becoming a Roman citizen. That was part of the thing. So, you know, we need to look into everything we got from these people. No. Men? Men أختنا. ماذا سالت؟ Oh, you was talking about the woman's hair.
No, she just talking about hair, but you.
Ah, man, you know, you guys get me started. I'm sorry. No. See, don't ask me no questions off the topic. I should.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
I'm sorry. Listen.
It's good, but alhamdulillah.
No, you're right, because I just, again, I'm going on a wrong tangent or something else. No, I'm not taking no more questions from you people, man.
Beneficial.
No, I don't want no questions on here, because women should leave their hair alone.
Now we need 15 minutes on that now.
No, I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to take you off, because we need the time. We definitely need the time to get this stuff in. No, but it's true. It's not what we came here for. You guys don't get me on film. No, you guys got to get it.
Shut up.
No.
Shut up.
لحية.
You guys should be able to figure this out by yourself. You should be able to figure it out. This one I have a seat from. Thank you. Next, yeah, I'm sorry, man. You standing there. I'm sorry. Okay, listen up, guys. I'm gonna give you some things right here. I went through my notes because everything that's what we're gonna do. Either you take the test this weekend. Well, it's not gonna be this weekend, but in a few weekends we're gonna have a vocabulary test. The vocabulary test is going to include all the words that you have to know. Okay, and it's gonna be a long test. Okay, and the test is as simple as this. I list the words, you list the meaning. Does that make sense? No. Now, it goes like this. Greetings. Okay, greetings. Now I'm just giving you the basics here. We'll cover each one. Introducing oneself. And that's what you've already done, you know. Pronouns. That's this right here, anata. Parts of body. Possessive endings. That's going to be like who, to, ta or ti, whom, na, whom, ha. Okay?
Can you repeat those?
I'll write them out, okay? Numerals 1 to 1,000. Food. Food and drink, okay? Time, which includes days and months. Animals, I'll give you a list. Family relations. I'll give you a list. Transports. I'll give you a list. Yeah, yes sir. Common colors. I'll give them to you as well. Everything that you haven't gotten, you will get. Common, same word. Adjectives. Directions. Sorry?
The word after family.
Relationships. States of being. Okay, well let me erase this over here.
This is the A2 test.
This is the A1 test, brother. It's A1. It's very basic. It's very basic. It just looks like a lot.
It is a lot.
Oh, okay. Right. States of being.
Alhamdulillah.
This is like happy, sad, happy,
Saeed.
sad, you know? This is state of being, right? Mad, hungry. Common verbs. Okay, so let's go through these so that you know what we're talking about, okay? What don't you know? What would you like to know first? Talk to me. Possessive. Okay, let's talk about possessive endings.
Yes.
Say who. Say who.
Who?
Or he.
He.
The next one is ta.
Ta.
T. Tu.
Two.
Kum. Na.
Nah.
Hum.
Boom.
Ha.
Ah.
Okay, let's go over these. These come at the end. These are suffixes. Okay, what are these?
Suffix.
What is a suffix? Louder, please.
Ending. Word ending.
Word ending. So let's say the word is kitab. Say it.
Kitab.
Okay, so I would say kitabu who? His book,
His book.
right? And if it's in another kitabihi, if it's in another way, the same thing. His book. Katabtu. Chu. I wrote. Katabta. You wrote. Katabti. You wrote feminine. Kitabukum. Yours book. Kitabuna. Our book. Kitabuhum. Their book. Kitabuha. Her book. You guys get it?
Nah.
So it's all on nouns.
It's not. This one right here, tab T2, is not on nouns. That's on verbs.
الضمير قبل
Okay?
الحالة.
Don't talk to me about adama in front of people. Because then I'm going to call it suffixes.
Pronoun.
Okay?
Pronoun.
That's gonna be anata. That's in front.
No.
That's different. Look. So I want you to see this tab T2 is if, let's say it's a verb. Let's give me one. Dhahaba. Say dhahaba. Dhahaba means to go. Dhahaba. Right? Dhahabta. You went. Or dhahabti. You went. Or dhahabtu. I went. You get it? So ta means you. Okay? T means you, feminine. And chu means I. Chu is I. Okay? I did whatever the action is. Does that make sense?
No.
You use this on every verb in the book. The word you're sitting down, it's called jalasa. Say jalesta.
Jalesta.
Jalesti.
Jalesti.
Jalestu.
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 Everybody get it?
Nah.
Then you just practice that. Adhin ya Shaykh. So the rest of these is going to be on what we call ism. Okay? What are we going to call it? Ism. And that's a thing. A person, place, thing, or adjective. Okay?
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح
Okay. Her, their,
What is that?
our, your,
That's the
his. These are all possessions at the end of a suffix after a ism. Ism is a person, place, or thing, also an description word. So if it's a book, kitabuhu, his book. Kitabukum, your book. Kitabuna, our book. Kitabuhum, their book. Kitabuha, her book. Kitabi, taba'an,
My book.
my book. Does everybody follow that? Now use this stuff. Use it. Start applying it. We did the parts of the body. We already introduced ourselves in basic greetings. I gave you guys directions, right? Yes, I gave you directions. Al-Qudam, al-Amam, yani, ala
We
tul.
ain't did that yet.
I didn't do that?
No.
You mentioned it, but you didn't write it down.
Okay, I'll write it down, make it simple. Very, very easy, the directions part. Okay? Yeah, because I said Yamin, Shimal. That's the main part about it.
That's all you mentioned was Yamini.
Yeah, Qudama, Amama, Qudama. Like what's what? Qadam, right? Qudama. You see the shadda? Now it's not just that. Now going forward. You get it? Qaddim. Go forward. Qudama, Amama, which is the imam, right? I'll write him out. Inshallah.
H-I is her?
No, what did you just say?
H-I. Is that her?
No, H-I is him, he, his.
What, H-U then? It's
His.
Both of them.
Yes, ma'am.
What's her?
Ha.
Ha.
Kitabu ha. Will somebody else go? So who else? Is everybody gone?
There you go.
Go. Okay.
Oh, I see her.
Okay, so
And then,
before I want to do, which one do I want to do?
direction?
No. Before I do directions, I want to do basic animals. Because direction, I'll do directions. Anyway, look. You have forward, right? Guys, don't talk because you're going to confuse me. Okay? And if you're going to talk to me so I can understand because I get distracted real as you see.
Make that hard.
You know what I'm saying? Don't help me. Sorry? Yes, this is a detailed list of what you're going to have, of all the, the vocabulary titles you're going to have, okay? For the what?
To graduate.
Yes. Okay? So forward, Qudama, or you can say in front of, right? In front of, Amama. You know? You can say ala tul, ala tul, going straight. Right is Yamin. Left is Shimal.
Is Shimal?
Shimal
Shimal.
is Shimal. We're mixing language.
Oh.
Yani Shimal.
Shimal.
Okay? Turn. Dur. Okay? Dur. Ila Yamin. Dur. Ila Shimal. Dur. Or you can say lift.
Lift.
Means turn. True. But we'll do with dur. We'll just give you one right now. Dur. Okay? Also, to go forward, somebody might tell you sir.
Sir?
Sir. Sir or sir. Sir. That's from the word sayyar. That means go forward. Sir. That means go straight. Yeah, go. Sir. سير يعني هذا الطريق ثم تذهب إلى يمين الشمال. قدامة double. قدامة. Every extra letter is an extra sound. قدامة. أمامة. على طول. على طول. Okay. قدامة.
Which one will you use?
All of them. Okay? على طول. Let's go forward. Go forward. Go straight ahead. Okay? What's it? Right, left, and then we got under or down. There's going to be taht. 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 And above and over. Over is two words here. One of them is going to be fawq. Say fawq. And the other one is going to be ala. So you say قدامة, يمين, شمال. يعني إلى وراء, to the behind or back, or behind. Is وراء. 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 Like if I want to say behind the house, وراء البيت. وراء البيت. Go behind the house. You get it? Around is حول. حول. نعم حول. 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 نعم. كتابتي صغير. كتابتي أو كتابك؟ أيوة الحمد لله كتابي أنا. أيوة صغير. ما شاء الله. ليس لي حل. I don't have a solution because I'm trying to fix something. But what you can do is when I'm finished, you guys can come up and rush the board. حول. وراء. فوق. Or you can say فوق. أو فوق. على. تحت. or تحت. دور. يمين شمال. شمال يمين. أمام. قدام. على طول. سير. Okay? You guys follow me? No. Anything else? Any other term? Anything else you want me? فوق. أنا فوق. وأنا تحت. Okay? Above or فوق or تحت. Isn't that same thing? Same thing. على. Anything else? Got something? I'm trying to give you a few of the words, just a few words. I'm giving you the minimum that I can give you. Between, I got between. Between is baina. Okay? And beside, you might say ala janbi. Okay? Ala janbi. Ala janbi. And you might hear it with bijanbi. Same thing. Ala janbi or ala gambi. Yeah. No, but don't worry about that. I don't want to confuse you. Ala janbi. Ala janbi. Or janib. You'll hear that word. Janib. All this. See, you have to have your. I mean, once you get the key word, you know, you stretch it to hear what people are saying in that regard. Vocabulary. Okay. Use this. Now, draw a picture and start making these turns. You know, you get my point on it, so you can start practicing. You got the numbers. You got the possessive endings. You got the body parts. Basic animals is not really, you know, because you don't need to know a whole bunch of animals. You need to know animals mentioned in the Quran, okay, and insects mentioned in the Quran. Otherwise, you just call it an insect. Baqa is a general word for all insects. You get my point? Oh, but you have to have dhubab because it's in the Quran. Nahl, namal, those are in Ankabut, they're in the Quran. You do have to know those are names of surahs. Ankabut is a fly. I mean, the arachnoid. You know? Hasharat, you can call it, you know, you can use that word, but I'm not going to, you can, hasharat, I'll give that word, hasharat and baqa, it's because they're just the same thing, insects. Okay? General term for all of them. And when we talk about, besides asad, you call it a kalb kabir. What if it's a tiger? Kalbun kabir. Right? You know, you don't need to know those detailed words now. Just know that it's a kalb or a qitta. Right? You know, get my point? Of course, you know the word asad because we're familiar with that word. Right? Hakada, ta'ira. You don't need to know what type of ta'ira. Ta'ira, bird. Also, it's in the Quran. You get my point? These are type words. You need to know fear. Because it's there. You get my point? And then you need to know Taubah, right? Or hayya, which is what's it called? Snake. Why? Because again, it's in the Quran. Does that make sense, guys? Basic terms. We're not going to get into whole zarafa, yani arnab, katakit. We're not getting into all of that. All you need is the basic ones that you find in the Quran, and qitta wa kalb is in the Quran as well. I'll write them out next class because the time for the salah is drawing near.
So 8.
Sorry?
So 8.
It's at 8 o'clock? Okay, well then I can do it here. Can I erase?
No.
Okay, well then I'll wait.
Just chapter back.
No. Take care. But we'll make sure you go out with you. Sorry? Baqarah, you need to know Baqarah as well, of course.
For back.
Dhahr.
Can we use that word instead of that word you have up there?
Which word is that?
Back or behind?
Yes, but that's not, no, it's different context. Different context. Okay? Because if you say Zahir al-Bayt or something like that, that means the front part of the house. Does that make sense? So, but wara is in the Quran. Allah says, wara al-Zuhurihim. Wara al-Zuhurihim. Meaning this is their back, behind their backs.
In a single book, the writing is large.
I've watched them.
I left mine overseas. The vocabulary for that.
No, we're not using it. Not now. No, I mean, it's for A1 vocabulary, it's very, very basic. But, right at this point, it'd be too much. Even, I drew a choice between Hasharat and Baqqa. Hasharat is better. It's easy. Hasharat. Easy word to remember. Yes, you may. Anybody can go. They need to go. Go ahead. Barakallahu feekum.
Teaching. Imitate the teacher.
That's good.
But not even listen to the board.
ساق no with a cough. ساق.
Oh, Kari.
It's this part. It's from the next to the That's just
That was my question. You shut me off.
Some people say shin.
Shin.
It's when Indian.
Right. It's the shit. I'm thinking that was my fault. It is the shit. This shit. This shit.
It's the shit.
When you die, everybody.
But also in Arabic, when they say sit on my side, someone sit on my lap. So that's why it depends on the use. Yeah, but selfish should be a word, but I'm afraid to get into the original.
What's that?
But you're right, selfish is the shit. That's before that.
You know,
Yeah. But I don't in the Tafsir it says that some people who didn't make sajda, when they try to make sajda, they won't be allowed.
Muhammad.
Okay, because their legs now you can't move. The bone becomes hard.
Why are you so hard on me?
No, because I don't want you to use the words. You're going to survive. I'm not worried about you being too tough with you. I'm scared of you being too tough with others.
I want to take the second class.
The second class is awesome, in that, it builds on this.
Why starts in January?
Well, that class is not going to be Arabic. But because we've gotten this much, we'll be able to add on to this through the fiqh.
Got that right. It went through. Did you get the messenger?
That's right. Barakallahu feekum.
No, I was going. Processing now. That's right. The Wi-Fi is kind of checking.
Close the thing. This last night I
I'm going to get outside and probably come through.
it's saying it's
No, I'm going to go there too. So I can go. I'm sorry. That's it. So I didn't want to give more when class is breaking up, when people are leaving out, and then give half class out. So I'm sorry to make people mistake. Okay? Assalamu alaikum. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, assalamu alaikum, guys. Yes, yes.
It's from the same word. Mumkin
But I'm
is
just, let me go to the book,
permissible
please.
as possible.
Am I able to go to the book? Okay, sure. Sorry.
ممكن same as
Yeah, like 2 minutes. 5 minutes.
It's from the same root. Is it possible? It's Mr. P.